Hello and welcome back to CSGB Racing. We're here for the F1 guys once again, as it is a Monday. We're here for Zandvoort this time, the fourth round of the second season for the F1 guys at least. So yes, new track to the calendar. Obviously F1 didn't manage to come here due to all the Rona issues earlier on in the year, which is a shame because the track is quite fun to drive. And once again, as always, we are joined by Dane. How's it going?
It's going good, mate. It's always a pleasure to watch these boys do their races and hopefully run for another one.
Yeah, it should be a good one today. Obviously, I don't know how much experience any of these guys have. Obviously, as I said, it is a brand new circuit to the game as well as real F1. But I'd imagine a lot of them have been putting in quite a bit of practice.
Yeah, definitely. This is a very technical track, especially when you're on a worn tyre, so these guys will definitely have been doing their race simulations to make sure they're accustomed to the strategy.
Yeah, I think one stop is quite easy around here. I think you can do soft medium if you can get the softs to, I think that's 12 or 14. You can go mediums to the end. But soft hard will more than likely be the strategy for most of them if they haven't tested the strategy out at all.
Yeah, I think the soft hards is the more optimal strategy because you really don't want to risk the mediums because they can die near the end of the race, unlike the hards which just last forever. So I think that'll be the popular strategy unless it doesn't rain, of course.
Yeah, rain, it does happen here. Has happened quite often. Obviously, we're in Europe, so it can pretty much rain any time of the year. Yeah, 15 drivers out on the track today. Silly Sly Guy is not here. I'm not sure what the reason was. I think I just missed it, but he's not available this week. Obviously, shown good pace last week. So
yeah, we also have the Netsky. He'll definitely be looking for a vengeance after what happened in the sprint race where he was unfortunately taken out by a Red Bull, I believe it was.
do we know which Red Bull it was? I mean, none of them here this week, but do you know, is it Tribe or Kazakhs?
Yeah, I believe it was Tribe. Yeah, it was.
Ah, okay. Because Netsky dominated, didn't he, last week in France? See, I missed.
Yeah, in the feature race.
Yeah. See, I missed the sprint race. I wasn't feeling too good, but you guys still smashed it on the comms about me. But yeah, the Dead Seas incident on lap 1. But so yeah, see, the safety car actually messed him up last week, didn't it? In the race,
Yeah, it did.
yeah. So
He still managed to claw back through. As he is on a lap, he is now approaching turn 10.
you got this.
Through there now, through turn 11. I'm very new to this track.
That left.
But yeah, it is a
11,
late apex, turning on the DRS onto the short straight. Want to break at the 100-meter board. Make sure you don't get too much on the curve, otherwise that can throw you out. Want to hit the first apex, just a little wide, and hit the second apex on exit. Going through the final corner, down to 4th gear he goes. This is a long right-hander. Almost something that NASCARs would go through, but he takes very nicely an easy flat out of TRS, and it's a 1 minute 9 dead.
Yeah, decent lap. I went on board just he came through 14, which is that sort of right-hander that you don't want to get on the curb for, and it looked so smooth. I don't think I've ever managed to do it quite that well, but that's why Netsky's in F1 and I'm in F2, I guess.
Well, once again looking in a class of his own, 6/10 ahead of Vapor Shea.
Yeah, and James is here, so maybe he can put a challenge up. Obviously, Sly Guy is not here. Seems to be those three seem to be the class of the field, but we have seen a couple of surprises. Obviously, Jimbo, I think, got double podium last week, didn't he?
Yeah, and was very unfortunate not to get the win in both of those races.
Yeah.
So he will be looking for a vengeance as he has come to the end of his lap. He takes a tighter line, which at this track is more optimal, and takes the fastest lap.
It's like Jimbo's had his practice and then 10th quicker than Netsky, not even a 10th. Got 200ths, so very close. It is a very technical circuit here. 15 corners in a very short space of time. So the times could be fairly close. Have you got anyone on the lap now? Or
Have a lot of. We have Hindle coming to the end of his lap. He's coming through turn 14. He's going to get higher using as much as the curb as he can, going as low as possible through the final corner, and going as high as possible on the exit. And he's hitting the barrier a tiny bit. Puts him kind of P3, but still 5 tenths off the top two.
Yeah, I mean, I think Hindle showed good pace last week in France. I think he bottled it in the sprint race though. Or was one of them. I remember he took the lead in the one where it rained. I'm not sure which one that was.
That was the sprint race.
Sprint race,
yeah. He bottled in both races.
Yeah. Took the lead in that one. I think he spun coming through that flat right, but looking to get a better result this week. I think Brad, he's new, isn't he? I think I've seen his name before. Down in 14th on the mediums on his first flying lap of the session. Locks up a little bit into turn 12. Seem to have got the car rotated back nicely. We'll go on board now through the final couple of corners. Use a little bit of the curb on the inside of 14, but now we'll be flat all the way to the line. Just misses out a little bit on the slipstream as the car comes into the pits. We'll cross the line and go into 13th. Currently the slowest of the runners, but he is on the medium, so he would expect to be slower.
Yeah, but 6 tenths off Trixie on the soft compound. He's really looking like he is lacking the pace, but we are very early into the session, so he more than likely can improve. I'd just like to apologise if you heard that car rumming in the background. He sounded looked like he was a bit excited.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out what that was. I was like, yeah. James now on a lap, currently down at the bottom of the pack. Yet to set a lap time though when I run through these flat out kinks in the first sector for getting the car into turn 8, but does run wide out into the gravel. We'll have to abort that lap. Didn't get any damage, so might wish to just save fuel and get in for a second run. I think this might be the second time he's gone off on a lap. I think he went off on his first attempt, as I saw him earlier. Rain Man now coming up to that same part of the track. Gets into turn 7. Looks like a little bit wide, but seems to have held it on. And goes purple for sector 1 on the soft tyres. So there's like plenty of downforce both front and rear. He came through 9 there. Car looked planted, not even a sign of oversteer. It's a good exit as well through the late apex of 11. Over the crest down 12, purple in sector 2 as well. Rainman definitely looking like he's put his practice in. Haven't quite seen the ultimate pace from him yet this season. It's never too late to start your championship challenge though. We'll come through the final couple of corners now. Run across the line right out to the wall, opens the DRS. Crosses the line, goes to P3 just behind his teammate, 2 tenths off. 3 tenths off provisional pole set by Jimbo.
You've also got Netsky coming through the penultimate corner, going onto the long right-hander. Ivan wasn't on board with his lap, but no, Netsky more likely was a blinder. Where can this put him? And it does put him back on pole, but very marginally.
Yeah.
Now Jimbo is back out on his outlap. He'll definitely be looking to take back that P1, but the two AlphaTauris, they are looking speedy tonight.
Yeah, I mean, we're used to seeing this from Netsky, but Rainman, I think he's quite shown his pace yet this season. He's been caught up in a couple incidents. But this could finally be a shot to get back up onto the top. I see 2 of the CSGB founders there, clearly putting in their practice around here. Or they could just genuinely be gifted at these high downforce circuits. I don't think we have Monaco on the calendar, do we? So we won't get to see him there.
Oh, thank God.
I think Sven's on a lap down in 10th. Anyone close to the line? I think Ramsey is. Yep, final corner. I have a second up currently. This will put him up into 8th? 6th, okay. Found even more time in that final sector. Good there from the Alfa Romeo. Trying to find someone else on a lap. Then Timmy on 1. Yep, 6 attempts up, coming through 13. Go on board then through the final couple of corners. Nice and clean through 14, then through the final corner. So sets to the middle of the track there, not choosing to go wide or narrow, and goes on into P3 from Timmy. Another contender then for a possible pole with 8 minutes left in the session.
this is a really difficult track to overtake with very few overtaking spots. We do have these guys look very even on pace at the moment, so it looks like we're still in for a good show. We have about now starting his lap going through the first sector. Through turn 3, the quick uphill down to a quick elevation change through turn 4. Track rising up again, takes it really nicely. I'm going to look through the very quick left, right hand, straight to a quick downhill once again. He holds it in 7th gear, but he is slow on the RS, losing the traction a tiny bit. But he still looks like he's committed to this lap. He is low on fuel in the RS, maybe this is his second run on those tyres. He does take that corner really nicely. And up in the second DRS straight breaking out the 100-meter boards, down to 3rd gear, getting onto the curve behind him, onto the long left-hander. And now to turn 14, the penultimate corner, holds it in 5th gear, goes out a bit wide but keeps it validated. And now to the run up across the line, opening the DRS out of the RS. Back in this put him 1 minute 8.0. A tenth and a half.
Really good lap there, clearly taking that fight to Netsky. Once again, I'm going to assume he's the championship leader after his win in France. He was going into France, I don't think anyone overtook him, despite his DNF. Yeah, currently still in the pits. I'm guessing he would have seen some of that lap watching on the onboard. Knows what he's got to do now. Tinder won a lap? Nope. Try and find someone then. I think Brad is on one. And comes into the pit lane. James then, 3rd time lucky. Keeps the car on the track, this time through 8th. Purple Protector helmet does run wide through 9 and validates the lap. James might be starting at the back at this rate. It's not going to be very good for his championship.
Yeah, I wonder how many soft tyres he has left. Yet to set a lap time. He does look like he does have pace, setting the fastest sector 1, but he's be struggling through that section of the track.
Yeah, so I don't know what happened to his first run, but I did see him out on track and then he went into the pits. Second run, obviously run wide at turn 8, and that time he's gone off the track on the exit of 9. He might be going for a second run now. See what he does. He does stay out. So stay with the Williams driver. Only driver yet to set a lap. Now through turn 1. Avoids that inside curb. You touch that, you will spin. It's almost a guarantee. You can get away with it through 3. Low on fuel now, so he might just make it around this lap. It looked very good there on the exit of 4. Comes through the flat out 5, 6 and 7. Now down the hill. Keeps it just about on the track this time through 8. Purple Protector 1 again, and then through 9 did hit the apex and keeps the car on the track as well. Slap looking good then for James. However, runs off the curb and spins. He's out. James will be starting last then. It's up there in the champ. Yeah, it's top 3 in the championship. I don't know where he's placed. It's 2nd or 3rd, but it's right up there. I'll actually have a look quickly. Yeah, starting from the back. Netsky, current leader. So we'll cut to him. Oh, he's invalidated. Okay.
Does look like he wants to recharge his battery to maybe go out for another lap. Do have 4 minutes to go, so he definitely still has time to put on a fresh pair of softs. And that looks like the option he'll be taking. Back into the pit lane he goes. Yep. We have Ekelund, I think he's on that lap. No, it's not. The RS is off.
Is he the only one? Yeah. He's first on their outlap, Ferrari. It's Trainman missed. Both Ferraris actually missed last week. Actually, no, James is 4th in the championship. It's the Ekelund after, I think he won last week, didn't he, in that sprint race? P2 championship, ahead of Silly Sly Guy, who's not here, and then James 4th, Jimbo 5th. It's top 5. go on board with Trainman then, coming through the first sector. See, he's up by 700ths, and then it goes off at 9. Mercedes with him, I believe that is Brad. Now I'll switch over to the Mercedes coming out of turn 11. See what his sector split is now. 10th and a half up. Just a couple corners left. It's quite a tricky chicane into a hairpin. At 12 and 13. You can gain a lot of pace if you get it right, but runs off the track at 14. That might be it for his qualifying unless he can get back out. He's actually going to stay on track to finish the lap. We won't see an improvement then. McLaren behind him. Sven to start his lap.
Next, he was purple on his lap. We're going to put him into P2. So, unable to stop Jimbo at the moment, still a 10th clear, but it is getting close.
Yep. I have a feeling Sven may have been held up a little bit at turn 1. He had, I think it was the Ferrari that I was watching just ahead of him. Oh no, it would have been the Mercedes, I think. Or as one of them. They pretty much stopped on the apex of one to get out of the way. He might have been held up, but I'm not too sure. And then he is backed out. And then Rainman comes out of the pits ahead of a Ferrari, that'll be Trainman. As Forzen isn't here for this week either. Look, who have we got on a lap? Jimbo on his lap? He is as well, and he's improved in the first sector. I think. I don't know how he hasn't crossed the sector split yet, but apparently he's up. Now coming through 8, very on the apex, and he's still up. Purple for sector 1 once again for current provisional pole. 1 minute left of the session. There's Netsky on his lap. He is behind Jimbo though. Try and keep an eye on the timing, see if anyone jumps up the order. Purple sector 2 as well, 1.3 tenths up for Jimbo Mansi. Now coming into 14. And comes through the final corner, just clips the grass a little bit on the inside. Cuts across the pit entry line and improves by almost 2 tenths. Now 3 tenths clear. As one of the Alphas coming, that's Neski into the pits. He invalidated his lap, so he'll be 3rd. At best.
Eklund on a lap, he goes purple in the 2nd sector, but he was only half a tenth up on his previous lap time, so he'll need an absolute monstrous final sector if he wants to touch that pole time of Jimbo. Go for the long right hander. Opening the inside as possible, going out wide. We're going to put him 1 minute 8.9 up into P4.
Another strong lap there from Eklund, continuing his pace he had in France. So yeah, Neski into the pits, he validated his final run. Trainman on the lap, he's 10th down in the first sector. So is Rainman. So Ranu coming up to the line. 2 seconds down, okay, Trixie's not on a lap. So it will be, I think Jimbo next, but he's on an in lap I believe. So Rainman next across the line, hasn't found a little bit of time in that middle sector. Will not open the DRS and come into the pit lane, so that'll be it for his quali. If we got Trainman does cross the line, it does not improve, stays in 5th. And I think now it's just Vesta, who also boxes. So that's all the running then. So who have we got in the chat then? It's like Dovey's here again. We have someone claiming to be limitless, don't know if that is actually them. We have a James Hook, I think he was in my race last week in F2. Good evening to him. We've got a Charlie Fluff as well. Good evening to all of you. Hope you had a good day. Yeah. What do you think of that session then?
Well, the headline is got to be Jimbo. Absolutely monstrous pace. Three
Yeah.
tenths quicker than P2. It looks like we have a minute of waiting, so.
Yeah, I think we're just waiting on Timmy to retire. Um, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I was not expecting Jimbo to be on pole. He hasn't had the best quali pace this year, from what I've seen. But it looks like he's found it now, so they're not quite halfway through the season yet.
And that gap between second and fourth is extremely close. All separated within 1/10. This is a short lap, but these guys really look
Yeah.
to be even on pace.
44 thousandths of a second between second, third, and fourth. Yeah, that's another shout out Hindle. Again, doesn't have the ultimate pace this year in comparison to some of the others, but he's put his racing point up in P5. His teammate down in 10th then.
Hopefully, if Hindle can keep his nose clean, he'll actually be able to get a good result here. Because he does, in the race, he did have the pace to be up there, but he just not really had the luck.
No, not really. I mean, we're running through the quali grid now from what we've got. We have Jimbo Manti on pole. I think it's his first pole of the season. Might be of all time in this league. I didn't really follow last year. Timmy then will line up on the front row alongside him, ahead of Netsky and Ekelund on the second row. Hindle, Trainman, Vapor Shea, Rainman, Sven and Jay Prentice then round out the rest of the top 10. And then the bottom is at 5. It is Romsey in P11 for Alfa Romeo, ahead of Trixie, Fefster, Brad on his debut, and then TRT James, 4th in the championship, and didn't quite manage to set a lap time today.
Yeah, that's really gonna hinder him in the championship fight, having to be all the way down there, especially on a track like this, where it's gonna be even harder to overtake. But he will have to make those moves done if he wants to get up the field.
Yeah, I mean, from my personal experience, this track is very hard to overtake on. I think you have to be a good second or so a lap quicker than the guy ahead in order to make a move either into 12 or turn 1. I think you would be stupid to try and overtake somewhere else.
I have seen moves going into turn 11 before, but that was just, there was some extreme sense, but it's still a very possible place to overtake. But hopefully these guys just don't smash into each other
Yeah.
if they do.
One thing I do want to see, an overtake at turn 8. Around the outside as well. If we see that, that's going to make my day. If
Gone down to
someone
balls.
pulls a move around the outside of turn 8, it's very unlikely, and it's got to be clean, no contact.
They've got to have balls of steel if they want to try something
So
like that.
any drivers watching the stream, you heard that, right? You'll make my day if you get a move around the outside of turn 8. And of course I'll try it tomorrow for the fun. Right then, what's the strategy? We'll get to see it in a bit, I would guess. So as we said earlier, is everyone starting on the softs? We'll have a look. Nope. Okay, top 10 on softs as they have to. Romsey on hards. I think he did that last week. It got him a very good result in the race, if I remember correctly. And Trixie on medium as well as James starting down at the back. But I believe you can do a one-stop soft medium. But as you said earlier, soft hard probably more likely.
I think these medium runners are. I think they'll be able to take their tyres at least 24 laps into the Grand Prix before they actually start losing time. So, medium to soft might actually be a good strategy from these guys as long as they are able to keep up with the soft guys. And Romsey, he'll definitely need to keep the pace. Track like this where it requires high downforce, he'll definitely lack pace on paper, but we'll have to see.
To see the strategies now on screen, it's saying one stop, soft hard, pit lap 11, or the two stop going soft medium, I think that said. So I'm not going to give away my strategy intention for tomorrow because I've seen that Dovey is in the chat, so at least one of my competitors are there. But yeah, it's one stop, two stop, depending if you get damage as well. We've got an early safety car. Some of the soft guys may come into the pits. Should be a good 36 laps.
Yeah, hopefully. I think these hards can last from lap 5 if there was an early safety car, but they're going to be absolutely gone, so it'll be interesting. These guys are lining up. Leave it to you for the 5 red lights.
Yeah. I've noticed this track is quite buggy in terms of when spectating. Obviously, none of these tracks are the best because this game isn't perfect, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah. 5 lights are on, and we are away. At least that glitch isn't a thing. It looks like Jimbo has got a slightly slower start. Timmy was on the inside coming down to turn 1. Netsky will also try around the outside. Looks clean, didn't see any carbon fibre flying into the first corner. But Jimbo has held the lead. Netsky up into P2 around the outside of turn 3. Hindle as well jumping up into 4th, got ahead of Ekeland. Further down, Trixie doesn't look to have gotten the best of starts. In that, Renault dropped off a little bit off the back of the field. Renault got damaged, they lost their right end plate. James also with damage on the mediums, that's probably his race over there.
Really unfortunate for the 2 medium runners so early in the race, and it's already game over for them. The harder strategy, but aside from that, these guys have kept it clean. There are no spinners, which is a little bit of a surprise to me, but kudos to them.
Yeah, so they all got quite close there into 12, couple lockups. Still no contact, let's give the 2 at the back. It's very unfortunate for them, mostly front wing damage, and they started on a harder tyre. Jay Prentice moved up a couple of positions by the looks of things.
I've also noticed the front team might have pulled a bit of a gap to P3, but it's close up by now. Shay's up into P3. I think it's the highest I've ever seen it, and Raymond not getting the best of starts down into P4. Or is that P10?
Yeah, Shay's not actually there, he's this third timing screen.
Oh.
No, I think Timmy's 3rd, Hindle P4, Ekeland 5, and then Shay in 6th. So yeah, I have to say, that nearly caught me out as well. I saw it and I was like, wait a minute. Yeah.
Cody's actually got me for once.
Just looked at the track map and I saw, yeah, there's no Williams in 2nd and up in 3rd. Apparently we're already on lap 3, we're not, so that should sort itself out. I don't think we are anyway, this is only lap 2, isn't it? Now coming on to lap 3. And yeah, the screen doesn't change as he crosses the line, so. Now lap 3 of 36. A 12th of the way into the race. Let's go.
Yeah, looks like the front 2 are beginning to pull away from Timmy. Before the first sector, they were 1.2 seconds in front, but Timmy has closed the gap a bit. So these front 2 really looking pacey, and it seems like Jimbo was able to keep the pace out in front 7/10s ahead of Netsky, so he's doing really well at the moment.
Yeah, that's 2 drivers that got caught up on lap 1, James and Trixie, both onto the medium tyres. So they're going to try and continue their original strategy. Let's see later on if that works out for them. They're probably wanting a safety car now to get back into the race. Let's see what they can do. We've seen James is quick. Trixie, I think I've only seen one of their races so far, so we'll see what they can do.
Yeah, it looks to be very single file at the moment, not much battling going on at the moment, which is to be expected. To be fair, the dirty air on this track is quite strong. Dirk Bradley getting really close to the back of the McLaren of Sven. Will you have a look around the outside? He looks to brake late, but Sven brakes even later in defensive position. Wow. But I think Bradley is safe from Romsey, especially because Romsey's on the hard compounds and compared to Bradley soft, so I think he could afford to take some risks, and the grip superiority will be able to keep him in front.
Yeah, and it's going to be difficult for Romsey. I mean, he's actually quite close to the back of Bradley at the moment. On those harder tyres, he's going to be wanting to Stay as close as you can, as tyres will go a lot longer than these softs. As Bradley locks up into 10. Was it about lap 10 tyres will start going off on the softs?
It's earlier than that, around lap 8, they usually begin to feel them, but maybe a little bit early for Bradley. He is beginning to lock up a lot more, especially a lot more than his competitors in front and behind him, so maybe he needs to start taking a little bit more care of his tyres to make sure they can last a stint.
Yeah. And Jimbo's bolted out in front, 1.5 seconds now back to Netsky. Timmy's still staying with the AlphaTauri driver there. Couple gaps starting to open up at the front, but it's quite close to P5. Half a second between 5th and 6th, and then again back to 7th. Another lock up from Bradley into turn 4. It's very easy to do that. Possibly the hardest corner to not lock up into on the game. Maybe bar Mirabeau at Monaco.
That's a guaranteed lock up. You don't even need to be on the brakes to lock up there. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. I do run ABS at Monaco. It's the only track I have to do.
I don't blame you.
Mirabeau and Rascasse, I just can't not lock up that front right. So... yeah, Bradley he is holding his own there down in P11. Doesn't seem to be making too many mistakes bar these lockups, which will only really cost him tyre deg. Doesn't seem to be losing too much time.
I think Nesky's in a lot of danger here to Timmy. He seems to be lacking a lot of pace compared to Jimbo, who's absolutely flying at the moment, and Timmy seems to have the pace to him. But Netsky seems to be getting these exits on point, so especially through turn 1, which is the most potent place to overtake. So he's still holding in there, but he's just allowing Jimbo to pull even further and further away.
Timmy's car is underfueled, so he is running a lighter car, which will help around here. Don't know how much underfuel it has got, but there is a yellow icon there on the telemetry. So he might be able to carry a little bit more sort of apex speed. But yeah, Natsuki does seem to be struggling quite a bit. Also, all drivers using quite a bit of battery as well, apart from Timmy. He's up in the 50s. Yeah, top 2 have used quite a bit. Hindu in 4th has used, I think it was under 20 coming into turn 12. Driver Ekelund as well, doing quite well to save his battery. Timmy gonna have a run down into turn 1. I think he's got him, yep. Quite an easy move there. So you have a pitter, train man into the pits in the Ferrari. It's quite an early stop, isn't it? They got damage, or?
I think it does. He looked to be in the pits in a long time, but I had a glitched camera angle, so I couldn't really see if anything's being changed.
It's a very early stop there. Well, see, he's gone on to another set of softs, so clearly a 2-stop there for the lone Ferrari. Even if he could make it to the end on those set, he would get disqualified. So
yeah, Nesky just about clutching, getting the DRS of Timmy. He really is lacking the pace.
have we found the one track Netsky isn't the best at?
Potentially, I think he does use cockpit cam, and these are a lot of blind corners, so it may be a little bit more difficult for him, since he does have a lot less vision. Well, Timmy, he's in the fastest lap of the race. He seems to be having quite a lot of pace at the moment, but Jimbo, he can afford to save +1 on his laps of fuel, so I think he can take that fastest lap back if he really wanted to.
Jimbo might be trying to save his tyres as well. He's seen he's got a decent gap. Might have tried to manage that now. So you reckon about now the tyres start to go off to you on the soft runners?
Yeah, I think we're now at the point where these guys will begin to start struggling a little bit on their tyres, but still got quite a while to their pit window.
Okay, we'll see if... I mean, Romsey... Yes, Bradley's got past Fester. So not sure when that happened, but he's up.
Ooh, Festus
As
round.
as he's gone, very close from Romsey there. Very nearly tagged the back of that Haas. Might come into the pits now in the Haas. Would have overheated those tyres a little bit. As his teammates just into the pits, Eckland's pitted. They might get away with a double stack though. Let's see, Eckland, where is he? He's out of his pit box. Okay, Fester does stay out, okay. And it will be close between the two of them as train man and that Ferrari takes the fast lap of the race on fresh softs. Eckland onto hard, so he's going to the end.
Festus really showing the danger of the auto-spin cars at this track. Get onto them once and you're instantly round. He just proves that here, but...
Yeah. I don't know how realistic this track is to the real life. I know the actual circuit here, before they redid it for F1, didn't have these big sausage curbs.
Non-Codemasters, it's more than likely not realistic at all.
Yeah, I know they add brake boards in this game, because I've seen a lot of these tracks. Probably I've seen images of these tracks in real life and they haven't got all the brake boards. So that's clearly a driving aid that they've added in to help drivers who don't use a racing line.
Yeah, on ACC there's absolutely none of these here.
Yeah,
so.
ACC has, I think it's as realistic tracks as they could.
Yeah.
Obviously the ACC Zandvoort is not what it looks like now. So we're getting to see this week with the GT World Challenge race how fun this track is for GT3 cars. It's my favourite discipline of racing because they're just awesome. Yeah, Vapor looks to be closing up onto the back of Hindle for that top 4 spot. Hindle maybe just struggling a little bit on those tyres, as will most of the soft runners. Romsey now up into P9. Jay Prentice has pitted, so that would have been how he's got up into there. Lee Fefter spun as well when Eckland pitted. So that was a pretty easy 3 places for Romsey.
Yeah, Netsky now 2 seconds behind Timmy. So yeah, he's really been struggling, but nearing the pit window, Jimbo really wants to go for the undercut. I think he'll pull out just behind his teammate, because a pit window here is 14 seconds longer. As Netsky does pit, he really wants to go for a heavy undercut. It could work for him. The undercut is really strong around here, so
Yeah,
but he will have to put the lap in his life.
Onto the hard tyres. We'll see what Jimbo does now as he runs through turn 7. So 14 seconds to press stop, did you say?
Yeah.
So currently he'll come out in P5 now. Sven pitted as well. So as long as no penalties, we haven't added any virtual safety cars or anything, so he won't have a 5-second. So he should come out between Rainman and Bradley. It's quite a nice gap for him to slide into there.
I think Jimbo will be coming in this lap. He has pulled a bit from Timmy, so it might be on a push lap, and it's a lot lower on ERS than what I've previously seen him. Definitely reacting to Netsky and his teammate. Does he dive it in? Yeah, he does.
Into the pit lane, race leader into the pits on lap 11. Timmy takes the lead. So the battle for P6 is quite tight right now. Romsey's hards are finally up to temperature, but he does have Netsky right. Romsey uses the overtake and gets the position on Bradley. A little bit of contact. Netsky also swoops through. 2 positions dropped for Bradley into turn 1. Where's Jimbo come out? P2. Okay. So he has 2 seconds then. Back to Netsky. Yep. 2 seconds back, so that is a successful undercut in terms of time gained. Didn't gain the position, but he's gained 2 seconds. I think it was 4 seconds, wasn't it, before Netsky pitted?
Yeah. But Netsky is being powered a lot by Romsey right now. He's sliding through the exit of the long left-hander. Romsey definitely not looking to give up this position, which is smart from him. He does have the grip, and these hards won't die, so just be able to close the guys up later in the race. But we do have Timmy in the pits going onto the hard compound.
He's going to come up right with this battle, isn't he? Or is he going to get ahead? He's tight. Bradley into the pits. He has to get up the inside into one. And Timmy keeps second, but only just. First is still not pitted. 12 lap old softs now in P9.
Probably going to try extend them so we can go into the mediums.
Got Jay Prentice right behind him on fresh softs. So we've got Trainman. Oh, someone spun the Ferrari! Trainman off at turn 8, broken his front wing. A little bit of a quiet race from James, however. Up into 12th now, just slowly making positions back. I think he's just winning from everyone making mistakes.
The gap to the lead has gotten a lot closer, and Netsky is looking really aggressive on Timmy. He is gaining on the straight, but he has no ERS left. He's going to have to make a send down the inside. He does have a look, and he could probably try out grip him. No, he can't, losing a bit of the traction on exit. Timmy doing water brake later than him. And this battle for PT really spicing up at the moment, but they must not forget to work together, otherwise Jimbo will just pull further and further ahead, which he's doing right now. Already gained 2 tenths from that.
That's what he did in the first stint, wasn't it? These two had a little bit of a fight. Jimbo took, I think, 2.5 seconds out of them. The gap has come down now. Will they work together though, or will they continue to fight? That is possibly the biggest question. Netsky does seem to be struggling a little bit on these hards, just putting the power down possibly a bit too early. Just lost the back end a couple times from what I've seen. Well, I hope Fest has practiced overtaking here, because he's losing a lot of time to the guys around him.
Yeah, I don't really know what he's thinking, staying that long out on the softs. He's just losing more and more time.
Stays out again. I mean, if he pits this lap, he can easily do mediums to the end. Same with the last couple of laps, I think. He will be a little bit quicker on the mediums, but those hard tyres are not going to go off at the end of the race.
So it's that train, I think he went round again.
Looks like he caught that spin though. I don't think his dot completely stopped. So we have Shea still right on the back of Hindle, not made a move just yet. Now run down into turn 12. I think Hindle might be running a bit less wing on his car. He just seems to be quicker down the straights. Shea seems to be quicker through the corners.
Hindle still in this race. This is outstanding numbers for him. Doing well for, but looks like Netsky was losing a lot of time to Timmy at the moment, but it's gained it all back, so a bit more push laps, but he is a lot lower on the ERS compared. Looks like Ekelund has also been saving his ERS well. I think James might have made a mistake there when going past on the fresh hard compounds, looking to get that P10.
I think James just took that position. I think he got sort of alongside into turn 1. I have a look at things, because I think James was 12th. I saw him take 11th briefly, and then I think he dropped back down.
Oh,
Yeah. So Sven going to the end on those hards. I think James will have to make another pit stop. Don't see those mediums doing 35 laps.
yeah, it's possible. I think they blow up on lap 28,
Yeah.
or 28 laps on them, so. Probably should have went onto the hards when he decided to pit again with the wing damage.
Let's see how he does then. Might. Will he get softs at the end? Is he pitting now? He is, okay. Let's see what tyre he goes on to. As he speeds into the pit lane. Bit of a rookie error there.
Yeah, James. Oh, Netsky's off. Yeah, he got a little onto the curb on the entry, and just completely sent him right into the gravel, saving the spin though. He is still in the race, but
Didn't hit the wall, did he? Front wing looks fine. Just trying to get the gravel off his tyres. Fester has pitted now on the mediums, down in 13th. 5 seconds off Trixie in 12th.
another thing to note is that Timmy is now in the DRS of Jimbo, so Timmy really showing that he has a lot more pace on the hards than he did on the softs. A lot more ERS as well.
James picks up another penalty there. It's 8 seconds in just over half a lap. He might have served the 5 seconds in the pits. I did see the car was stationary.
Nah, you don't serve. You don't serve 5 seconds the first time you go into the pits if you speed.
Did he speed last time then?
I don't think so. I didn't check.
Okay. Trixie into the pits onto hard tyres. So James has gone on to tyres that have already been used. Yellow flags, train man's round at 11. So yeah, I think James may have run out of tyres. Maybe opted for the softer tyres coming into the race, like the softer allocation.
Wait, James hasn't touched any other compound than the medium, so at this rate he's just going to get disqualified unless he wants to get maybe a fastest lap.
Yeah, it might be. Oh, McLaren round. Sven, turn 11. He just lost one position there.
The drivers seem to really be struggling for turn 11, maybe picking up onto the curb too much and it's just slinging their cars around. Nothing they can do about it.
I think it's pretty much an auto spin, isn't it? If you even tap that curb, I think you can get away with one, and you can get away with touching that curb there. We see James come through 13, but I'm pretty sure you touch inside of 11. That's it. Yeah, James gone onto the tyres he started the race on. So he did one lap on them, got damaged, came into the pits. I don't think he had any other option really, unless he went for the hards.
Yeah, he should have just gone onto the hards and just went to the end of the race. He more than likely wants to get that fastest lap. Maybe place someone in front of him DNFs, so he can get the extra point as well. We have a battle side by side between Jay Prentice and Rainman. Didn't see who was the attacker and who was the offender, but they were looking really racy side by side. And now Rainman's going to have to DRS into the run up for turn 1, but it looks like he's already going to get past him before the corner, which he does. Jay Prentice looking to fight back though, but Rainman defends it well.
Yeah, I think Rainman was the aggressor into 12. He got the inside, at least I know that. Obviously, very brave running side by side through that complex. It does tighten up a lot as you get into 13. But they made it without contact, so fair play to the pair of them. So Prentice is not going to get to the end of the race, is he, on those tyres?
Definitely not.
And I think, actually, he was the driver I said was on 2-stop, wasn't it? He's gone soft, and we'll put the mediums on, I guess.
think that may have been an accident. They're gonna try and make the most of it.
Gap at the front has it. Yeah, the gap at the front has extended. I think you were just about to say that, weren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jimbo's back to pace. His Romsey finally comes into the pits to put on mediums.
Who's that for? Romsey.
Romsey, yeah, that's the wrong strategy.
Hard medium. Okay. Did he get damaged or not?
No, just a
Okay.
scheduled start.
Okay. Well, Jay Brown is onto those mediums, so he's got to do 16 laps on those. 15, one of the two. Faster right behind him as he comes out of the pit, and then we'll just hold on to P10. Now over 2 seconds at the front. And Shea still right on the back of him. And we have a safety car. What happened to Fester?
Oh.
I was just watching him.
He lost the traction on the exit of, I believe that was turn 4.
Yeah, that is turn 4.
Blew up his tyre, that's...
Straight into the wall, okay. Quite easy to do that as well.
These guys should plan the softs. Give him the track position.
Jimbo stays out on hards. Timmy into the pits. Netsky stays out, will take second. Ekeland in. Hindle in, Shea in. Have
The
those
Martin team right now, everyone in the pits is going to overtake, is going to be 2 places higher. Mediums, lads, you can take softs to the end.
Right man in. Romsey stays out, obviously he pitted 1 lap too early, that's going to annoy him. They've all put mediums on. I would have put softs on. By the time the safety car comes in, it'll be like, what, 11 laps to go? And they did 11 laps at the start of the race on softs. That they used that they used in qualifying. So, okay. Fair enough.
Well,
Anyone going to put the softs on? Sven? No.
I take back what I says. Jimbo and Netsky are going to keep their positions.
James will put the softs on, but he's serving under his 5 second from his speeding into the pits. Trixie, mediums that have already been used. Train man into the pits. Okay, so only 1 driver up into the softs.
Also got Trainman going on to the softs as well, so these 2 are just going to gain positions.
Yeah, 2 at the back.
I think them 2 got to be very ecstatic right now. James is not going to get disqualified, and Trainman's not going to get lapped.
Have Jimbo and Netsky messed up here? Jimbo was on for a win.
If the guys behind went onto the softs, it would have been over, but...
Because they can't pit now. It's too late. They'll come out, Jimbo will be with his teammate down in 11th. Okay, well,
the thing is,
should be an interesting finish.
The hards don't die, but the softs do have the superior advantage to the half. The softs, I mean the hards. Words,
Come on, you got this.
So these guys behind them just... I think they're going for the better safe than sorry route, but there won't be anything to say sorry about because the softs will last the distance.
Okay, we'll see if they can hold on to it. Jimbo has shown superior pace so far this race. Netsky hasn't quite had the advantage, and so Timmy may get him again. I think the 3rd time that'll be Timmy getting past Netsky. Might be a little bit sick of seeing that AlphaTauri right ahead of him once again.
Yeah, Timmy has, I'd say, a 3-lap window because once those hards are back up to temperature, I think because of Jimbo's pace, he'll be able to match these guys. So Timmy will have to be as aggressive as possible during the early laps of the green flags if he wants to win this race.
We're going to have 1 more lap on the safety car, I would guess, as Netsky does a bit of off-roading. I think that's just to avoid the back of the McLaren. This has helped James out a lot. Because he was, I think, 11th or 12th and had to stop again. So now he's done that final stop, we'll be on a lot quicker tyre to the end of the race. Just to manage them a little bit, I'd say.
This is a bold call, but I genuinely think James could possibly pick up a podium. He's gonna have so much more pace.
You calling James podium?
I'm calling James podium,
From
yeah.
13th with 11 or 10 laps to go. Once we
He's
go
very
green.
bold. But he's gonna have so much more pace, and he is a really quick driver, so I genuinely think he can do it.
Yeah. I think he's been struggling to sleep on the track a little bit tonight, hasn't he? He couldn't get a lap in qualifying, went, I think, invalidated twice and then crashed. But
yeah.
He might not need to use all the track because he'll have that much better grip.
And both times he did invalidate, he was purple, so I think he did have the pace, he just kept making mistakes, which costed him. He's back in the race now, so and give him a second chance.
Bradley might get dropped a bit here. He's on 10 lap old hard, so they're not the worst condition. But the guys behind on the mediums will definitely be looking to capitalise on it. Because they won't want to get held up behind him, so they're going to probably be a bit aggressive with him.
It's going to look the same with brackets, but it's going to be defensive as possible. Because one of lose those positions early on. You need to get those tyres warm.
Safety car will come in at the end of this lap then, on lap 24 of 36. Here at the circuit Zandvoort, yet to be raced on in real life. But judging by the racing on this game, I reckon it'll be a decent race next year, if it does go ahead. So overtake is deployed for Jimbo, he's getting ready. If he goes too early, he'll catch the safety car and he'll just get stopped on track. He's gone now midway through the final corner. Kortnetsky napping as he's weaving to warm up those hard tyres. I think they're all weaving all the way back. It's coming to turn 1 then. James already up one position. We might as well count them. He's got 10 to go to get that podium. I think everyone at the front stayed as they were.
Oh. James, don't be that, mate. He's on the circuit.
Come on, James, around the outside, go for it. Go on board with James, he's probably going to be the quickest driver on the track at this point. Looks around the outside of Sven at 10. Sven goes up the inside at Bradley at 11. And James might get 2 positions here, but he will have to go 3 wide. He puts his nose in, I think he just got away with damage. Once again, a little tap on Bradley. Has he got damage? I don't think so. So much better exit. Hendo into the pits. Damage for the Racing Point, I would presume.
James and Bradley side by side. James holding the inside. And he's clean.
Oh, look, he's out!
Oh my god!
You have a virtual safety car.
Oh, I think that was a racing incident. I just don't think James left Bradley enough room, else Bradley's nose was still there.
No, I don't think Bradley could have gone anywhere. He would have used the curb and he would have spun and hit James anyway. So.
Well, there goes my predictions.
It might have been right, but we won't get to find out now, will we? Hindle went onto softs.
The front 2 on the hard compounds. Oh, back to green flag racing. They have been able to stay in the front 2, in the top 2. Proving me a little right here, proving that the guys behind them should have went onto the softs.
Yeah, Bradley has been done by everyone. By the looks of things, he was it 8th, I think, and that Mercedes dropped now down to 12th. Still getting a point though on his debut, unless Hendel can catch him on those soft tyres. 10 laps left. Jimbo then still leads Netski by quite a small gap. Timmy and Eckling staying with them. Actually, everyone's staying with them. Back to P7. Everyone's got DRS, or will have, at the end of this lap. Jay Prender's not quite having the pace of the guys ahead. Sven also dropping back. Trainman on those soft tyres. Doing a decent job there. We'll probably look to try and gain ahead of Sven coming down towards turn 12.
Got Raymond having a look around the outside of Shea, but Shea does break later. And is able to keep P6. He did make a mistake getting a little onto the curb. That's how Raymond did just then. He's been so much time.
Now battle for the lead. Neskia does have DRS coming down towards turn 1, not quite close enough though to make a move. Can Jimbo hold on now? Just 9 laps left. Actually, that's the fastest lap on mediums. Decent pace then right at the end of the race. And then Hindle, I think, obliterated Trixie's lap time on the softs.
Really going to be hunting down Bradley for that final points position.
Again,
10 seconds.
3 seconds and just over a lap. Sven gets the penalty. I think he ran a little bit wide on the exit of 9, judging by where he was. Oh, these top 3 are close, aren't they?
Gotta get a heck of a shot at the dying laps of this race.
Romsey just dropped to back a little bit, does have Shea right behind him. Shea also getting a DRS, and Romsey will move to the outside coming down into turn 1. Romsey a little bit of contact to the Williams. I think they both gotten away with it. Rainman just behind them in case anything happens between the duo. They run pretty much nose to tail through 4. And Romsey has pretty much no battery to deploy here.
I have noticed these guys have been struggling with their battery this race, but not really. It is quite to be expected. These guys are quite quick.
Yeah, and there
and
are
really close.
No heavy braking zones around this track really, so quite hard to recharge a battery. I think turn 1 is the heaviest, and it's not really that heavy. It's nothing like Monza.
No, Shea made a move down the inside, a late braking move, and he's up into P5. Just about saw that, and quite a good move. But Romsey will have the DRS. Could he attack back at Shea?
No battery for any of them, so it is equal down to their fuel mixture. And Rainman sends it on Romsey into turn 1. Have the inside for 3. So often you see the car on the inside go spinning off into the wall there, but they've kept it clean. Still very tight at the front. Jimbo not seeming to find the pace just yet. Or might just be toying with Netski a little bit.
Maybe it could be a bit of a ploy to maybe just hold up Netski so that Timmy could attack and then Jimbo could pull further away. It is a high risk, high reward type strategy, but the reward is too high, really high if it works.
Yeah. I mean, he seems to have a bit better straight line speed than that McLaren. So as long as he can just hold Netski back a little bit through the corners. Netski does have a little bit of a run into turn 1, but doesn't quite get close enough. Then Timmy breaks the latest of all 3 of them, but goes a little bit deep. Alpha Eklund onto the back of him. His top 4 drop the rest of the field at this point.
Definitely that flying at the moment.
Hindle now 7 seconds to Bradley. for that final point. The gap is coming down, but it's not quite as quick as Hindle would have wanted.
No, but I still think he'll be able to make it at the end of the race. Still got 6 laps to go. So, and at the rate he's gaining, I still think he'll get that final point position.
Well, he's got the fastest lap, so that's 1 point if it's given to cars outside the points. Not sure if that's how they do it here. I think it is, but if he doesn't get it, I think the fast lap would it be Trainman? You said it before. Have a look. 11-0 for Hindle.
Yeah, we train, man.
11-4. Yeah.
I genuinely wonder what Jimbo's wings are to be able to keep this straight line speed to Netsky. And also hold a little bit of pace through the mid corners. They seem to be quite even, but Jimbo's just managing to keep that straight line speed to defend really well.
He might be topped up on fuel. That safety car would have helped fuel management. But then I'd guess Netsky would be in the same position then, wouldn't he? So both drivers, yeah. Both drivers don't have the best of batteries.
No, but Jimbo has, I think he has like 0.20 litres more fuel than Netsky. From what I saw, I think Netsky had 0.9 and Jimbo had 1.2.
Okay. Let's come through the final corner once more. I think there's that 4 laps left. 4 laps left. Once again, Jimbo holding on down towards turn 1, just has superior straight line speed. In this train of almost just 3 cars, Eklund just about holding on at the back. Trainman looks to set up Jay Prentice, now coming out of 4. Rainman also pretty close to Shea for P5. How's Jimbo just bolted? The gaps have suddenly just shot up a little bit.
Yeah, he's doing really right at the moment, but I think it's been the same gap ever since the safety car restart. It's just been 6 tenths.
They're dropping third now. Jimbo and Netsky starting to drop Timmy, who's got Eklund coming out. That might be Eklund. It's putting pressure on the Mercedes.
Timmy really has fell under the trap of the third car in the DRS train. You just can't get anything, especially on the medium compounds, which I'd say about even pace at the moment right now.
Yeah. Trainman, I think we might have run out of time to get past Jay Prentice as well. For P8. Still in there for that position. But tyres will start to go off as well. Oh, Hindle's got to work a little bit harder if he wants that final point.
Beginning to lose the traction on those mediums and to fall out. I think he's out of the DRS. He's going to be sitting duck for Eklund. If Eklund can actually gain on the straight, he seems to have nailed that exit too well until he's able to hold P3. But out of the DRS of the hard runners, I think he'll have to settle for P3 and defend from Eklund.
Yeah, that's all he can do at this point. Don't think he ever had a shot at the top 2. Yellow flag, Trainman spun. Yeah, I think his tyres are gone. Just clipping that curb inside of turn 1. And Hindle's going to get a point. Gets up into P12. I would guess damage on the front of that Ferrari. Oh no. just loop the car around then. Back to the front. Then Netsuke definitely like running out of opportunities to make this move. Has 2 more. Turn 1 and turn 12.
It's just the closest he has ever been to Jimbo though, but Jimbo, I believe, well, they are even on the RS and Jimbo does have a superior straight line speed, so I think this might be Netsuke's last chance to make a move.
He's getting closer into turn 1. He's going to have to go for it. His car is there. Jimbo has to leave the space. It's very tight there. Contact Netsuke. He's going to spin there. Definitely. It was very well held. Gets a 3-second time penalty. That's a bit harsh. But does he going to get
to see a move
around the outside of? Oh, come on, Ekelund. Just keep your car on the inside, mate. Can Timmy win this race?
I think that just sealed Jimbo's win.
Yeah, it's never going to end well going side by side through 3. I think we've seen it once in this race. A couple of them managed it, but it gets very narrow very quickly.
I think Netsuke might be able to get that pen removed though. That was really harsh on the exit.
Yeah, I reckon that will get taken off at the end. I mean, it won't really affect him. He might lose out to Ekelund actually. Depends on Ekelund's penalties, but I don't think I've seen any penalties this race. And Jimbo takes the win. Looked very strong. Yeah, Netsuke did lose the podium, but I'd imagine that will get taken off. Yeah, is that pole to win for Jimbo? I think it is.
I think he also led every single lap of the race, so kudos to him. Really, really strong drive from him.
I think Timmy led. I think Timmy led 1 during the pit window, but Trainman, he's ran out of fuel as well. Has there been a pile up at turn 1? I think. I think the AI had a bit of a fight into the first corner. Yeah, two cars have lost their wheels.
Oh,
what's happened there? Alfa Romeo and Alpha Tauri, I think that was. Yeah, that's pretty exciting. That's exciting. It's a bit dull in the first half, wasn't it? Yeah, definitely livened up at the end. Nearly had a last lap move for the win. I still have a black screen here, I don't know about you. Oh, yeah, there we go, there's the podium. As Jimbo walked like an Egyptian to take that first win of the season, I believe. 3rd podium, he got 2 last week. Yeah, pretty solid drive. So we see your classification. Then Jimbo Manzi takes his first win of the season for McLaren ahead of Timmy, where to next in the Mercedes, and Ekelund to round up the podium in the Haas. But I think Netsuke might get that penalty removed and take that P3, who is currently sitting in P4. Raidman then in 5th ahead of Vaporshea in P6, ahead of Jay Prentice, Romsey, Sven and Trixie rounding out the top 10. Brady and Hindle take up the final couple of positions, with Hindle also taking that fastest lap. And Trainman down in 13th after running out of fuel on the final lap as well. TRT James then and CSGB F1 not making it to the checkered flag after mistakes causing them damage earlier on. So that would have been a shame for those two.
So then he giving you driver of the day too?
Driver of the day then, that's a tough one. I think I'm gonna go with Timmy. Finished 2nd. I think he did have superior pace to Netsuke and Jimbo, but couldn't quite get past at the end.
gonna just be boring and pick the most dominant driver, which was Jimbo. It's my driver today.
Yeah, is that 4 races in a row you've chosen Jimbo now, I think?
No, I think in the sprint race I picked someone else.
Okay. Yeah, I believe that'll be it then. Any final words, Dane?
Thank you for the good race, lads. You've given us a really good season.
Yeah, so you had thank you for the race. It was quite entertaining to watch this one. So thank you to those joining us on the stream. It's been a pleasure as always. Once again, Dane, thanks for joining. It's been great.
Always happy to be here.
So that'll be it then for the feature race here at Zandvoort. We'll be back tomorrow 7 PM for the sprint race, and that will be briefly followed by the F2 race. Thank you for joining us. Do leave a like on the stream, share it as well. We'll catch you tomorrow. See ya.